My name is Mark Jacob. I'm a former Metro editor of the Chicago Tribune and now write Stop the Presses, which is a newsletter for Courier. I'm mightily disturbed today by the news of Don Lemon being arrested along with an independent reporter named Georgia Fort, both of them charged by the Trump regime for covering a protest in a St. Paul, Minnesota church. I feel like this is part of an overall campaign against the First Amendment by the Trump administration. We've seen a lot of examples of that. You had a raid of a Washington Post reporter's home where they seized her computers and her smartwatch. Then you have the Pentagon putting such draconian rules in place that all the legitimate reporters decided to leave the building because they couldn't stand having their work monitored by minders, and also there was a rule that they not use any information that wasn't cleared by the defense secretary, which is ridiculous. You're seeing Trump long has called the press the enemy of the people. You see him threatening to yank the licenses of news networks. You've got his pals, the Ellison family, buying CBS News and turning it into a right-wing outlet. And the Ellisons also have a piece of TikTok now because of Trump. It's pretty obvious that Trump wants to destroy any media that don't kowtow to what he wants. I just think this is a time in this country where we need to be hitting the alarm button. It's the playbook of fascists and authoritarians, of all time. Putin has long done the same thing in Russia, where any independent journalists who get out of line, he wants to arrest. And so here you have him going after Don Lemon, and Georgia Fort, and there'll be others. Another thing you see about authoritarians is that they want to make examples of people. They want to scare other journalists into not reporting the truth. And I think there's enough tradition in this country of bold and courageous journalism that's not going to happen right away. But this is there's a drip going on here with the Trump regime trying to crush dissent and trying to destroy the free press. And it's time for us to really get active before this dictatorship descends. The First Amendment specifically says that freedom of the press is to be protected. And so when you have the president who wants to act like a dictator, trying to destroy free press, we got to do something about it. And so, it's time to get active now before it's too late. We're seeing the fascist authoritarian playbook being played out in front of our very eyes. And, let's get serious and do something about it. We can win this if we all get out there and don't consider it to be kind of a fait accompli where we can't do anything about it, because we really can. It's, we have a dictator in the White House. He's acting like a dictator, but he doesn't have to succeed. We can stop him now. And now's the time when people need to get active.